Welcome back to Bro Sports.
Well, Aiden. It was an eventful weekend, and now we have the World Cup to look forward to for the next, about a month and a half? So, Aiden, what went wrong in that Charlotte game? Because why did we lose? Although, and we're now, 0-2 going into the break? But we're still in fourth. So, what does this mean for the New England Revolution when they come back from the break after the World Cup's done? What should New England worry about going into this break, and what do they need to work on moving forward before the season resumes?
To be honest, when they come back, they'll face worse teams in the league.
Well, the thing is, Aiden, we need to worry about just what we're doing right now. Like we have to get guys back that are injured. This is a perfect time for guys to be injured for the team, because we need to see guys coming back for the rest of the season, because the end of the season is what's going to count, and every little point is going to matter in a lot of our games moving forward in the rest of the season. And this break is much needed for the New England to get healthy, because we need guys like Feingold back. We don't really need guys like oh my god, guys like Campana to come back. Honestly, I think Campana should be bye. And then guys like Miller need to fully get healthy. We need guys like Langoni to come back, because unfortunately, there was some unfortunate, sad news for Langoni. The reason why he wasn't available in this past game was the unfortunate loss of his father, and that's why he had to go to Argentina. And our hearts go out to Langoni and his family.
Well, bad news for next Argentina.
Yeah, and
bad news. No, yeah, bad news for
Argentina.
Ligoni, but yeah, Messi.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Messi's injury. Now, Messi looked to have, go off to the side of the field in that 6-4 win.
That game was
insane, by the way, very insane. But no, that is going to have some huge implications for the World Cup, which we talked a little enough about the New England Revolution, Aiden.
For Argentina.
Yeah, and it's going to be a big implications for some of the injuries that there are going on for some of these national teams, like with Spain with Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal right now has an injury that's lingering. Guys like Messi and Neymar and Ronaldo, this is most likely going to be one of their last World Cups that they're ever going to be a part of. And this is where this determines who is the true GOAT. I still think it's without a doubt Messi. There's no questions about it. Messi has a World Cup under his belt. Messi also has way more trophies and accolades and all that kinds of stuff. He's young. Messi is younger, and he has more awards than Ronaldo does, and he was in the league 2 years more. So I'm just saying, there is a lot of things that are going to happen in this World Cup that I think are going to be super, super fun, super interesting to watch. And enough of talking about New England Revolution. We're going to go into some of the World Cup and what's going on.
Wait. If Ligoni and Messi were on the same team,
I don't think they were. I think Langoni was one of the guys who didn't really make it to the national team because he's not as good. But guys who are on that team, that team is still pretty stacked. And not having Messi on that team might be a downgrade for Argentina, and that might affect them severely. So, Aiden, let's talk about the World Cup, because we're pretty much on topic of it. because right now we have no information for New England. We have to wait and see with the regular season when it comes back. But Aiden, what do you think about the national team, the United States national team's roster so far?
I mean, we have a Seattle player.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's been good on Seattle.
Yeah, Christian Roldan.
He's been
Rodon.
good on Seattle for the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, look, Aiden, I'm optimistic about this team. I genuinely don't think that this team is good enough to even make it past the group stages, if I'm being honest. I think if they can beat Australia and Paraguay, then they'll be fine. Turkey, it might be a difficult task because Turkey has a really good team. And I'm very hesitant on Pochettino's selections for this team. Guys like Matt Turner should be starting, without a doubt. There's no questions asked. He's got more clean sheets, more appearances, has the experience in the national team, and I get it. I understand. In the dire moments, Matt Turner has kind of been shaky. However, I'm going to take a guy who has more experience in the World Cup, has more clean sheets, has that capability to bring the team behind him. Look what's going on. Yes, I get it. He in England, he didn't do so good. But he came back to the United States, and look what happened to that goalkeeping room for the New England Revolution when he came back. What happened? We are winning games now, and Matt Turner is saving us out of a lot of different moments where we could have lost games. I just don't see why we have Matt Freese as our starting goalkeeper. I don't. And what Chris Bradley? Okay, that might just be a guy who they're going to have as the third string because he's a young guy. They want him to get experience and know how the World Cup works, how the national team works, because that's going to help him in the long run. And obviously, ultimately, when Matt Turner does eventually leave and is no longer part of the national team and is no longer playing soccer, obviously they're going to have a guy like Matt Freese to come in. But right now, I really am not confident on Matt Freese. I'm not. Now, guys like Christian Roldan and Tillman and all these other guys, I really am a fan of majority of this team, but I think they honestly really left out a lot of really good talent. And it's not because we're New England Revolution fans, but a guy that I really think should have been on this team is Peyton Miller. Without a doubt, 100% should have been on this team as a defender of the team, because I don't see why we need guys like Scally on the back line. I don't. I think Miller and Tim Reams, for that matter. Tim Reams is on the worst team in the league of the MLS. One of the worst leagues that you could possibly play in the world. And Tim Reams, who's almost pushing 40, is somehow on the national team. I don't get that. I don't understand. I get it. Maybe he's a good defender. Cool. But at the same time, we need a guy who's young, who's fast, and who can get up that field, just like all these other guys. Georgino Dest is pushing an age too. I just don't see why we have Georgino Dest. We could have had Peyton Miller and Georgino Dest on the outside backs positions, and our team would actually honestly be really, really solid in that back line and would be able to easily get up, make runs up the field, and do overlapping runs that could really be dangerous in this World Cup, which is something we need. But no, Pochettino decides to take on some of these other guys who are pushing 40. Look, man, I'm not confident in this team. Like the guys who I am confident in are, Anthony Robinson, Miles Robinson, Bert Halter to an extent, Western McKinney, great. He's a great addition. Guys like Gino Reyna and Brendan Aronson, Christian Pulisic, and the list goes on, man. Tim Weah. These guys are solid players, but they don't. Ricardo Pepi, too. Ricardo Pepi is a great player, but we don't have that. We don't have that backbone as much as I want it to have. I get it. A lot of these guys are playing in Europe, but sometimes these guys playing in Europe are probably not starting. Guys who are probably backups for a lot of their teams who aren't getting minutes. I want a guy who's got minutes. A guy like Peyton Miller would be perfect. Guys like whom I think who's are some of our American players that I could think of that are really solid. My God, Luna should have honestly been on this team. 1000% Luna should have been on this team. You know who I'm talking about. Dude, it baffles me just how bad the selections are. Like some of the other guys. We have a guy on here, I don't even know who he is. He plays in the Liga Meji, whatever the heck, the Mexican league. We have guys who I don't even know who they are. But obviously, we got to have our poster boy, Christian Pulisic, who honestly hasn't really done anything for our team. He's only been good during the national team. But every other team that he's been on, he's been mediocre. Brendan Aronson, mediocre. He was at one point with Leeds, was still mediocre. I don't know, man. And then some of the latest friendly matches with some of these guys on that team, it's been just atrocious. And going into this World Cup, I really need to see it, really truly see what Pochettino can do with these guys, because I'm really concerned that we won't even make it out of the group stages. I truly think that. What would be ideal is we can make it at least the round of 16, because that would be cool. That would be the first time we've done that in what, like 8 years? 8 or 12 years? I think since like the 2014 World Cup, we were in the round of 16. I just need to see more from this team. There was so many guys that were left out. It just baffles me. It really does. But again, who knows what's going to happen? Aiden, do you have any thoughts? I went on a huge rant and left you out. What do you think, Aiden? What do you think about this team? You can even give pushback to me if you think some of these guys might honestly be the right fit. Do you think so?
I know that.
Yeah, the Seattle guy.
The Seattle guy does good on Seattle. He has some goals on his belt most of the time, and I know Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a good. He's like good most times.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets the ball, he's like fast and score majority of the goals mostly.
Yeah, I mean, look, we need guys who are fast, because the teams we're playing against, like Spain, like France, like Argentina, they got fast guys on the outside. I just really don't see that in this team. We maybe in Miles Robinson, maybe in and Jorginho Dest. But again, we really need to think about who we got on this team and how Pochettino is really going to use these guys. Because I am very concerned about this team. There's so many guys that were left out, and I think we need to just look forward, maybe see how they do in these friendly matches. I think, to my knowledge, the friendly matches are, I know one's Germany. I can't think of the schedule. Here we go. Let me look at the schedule real quick. Yeah, so we got right now we go against Senegal and Germany for friendly matches.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see how they do against Senegal and Germany. If they can do good against Germany, we might be able to have a decent chance in the rest of our games, but who knows? And then obviously we have a couple other friendly matches, 2 against Brazil, and hopefully, fingers crossed, they do decent because come the 12th they play against Paraguay, and then they play against Australia, and then they play against Turkey. What the United States team needs to do is at least lock in a second place spot. They can get third. The top 8 third place teams can make it to the next round, but we need to at least have 3 ties at best and be at least third and have a good scoring record. If we can score goals and have and be third, we might have a chance at being that top one of those top 8 seats for third place. That might be our way to sneak in, but we need to at least beat Australia and Paraguay.
Yeah.
Those are at least must wins. We need to at least win one game. If we can win at least one game and maybe tie 2, we will at least we'll pick up at least a second place spot. And then maybe a high third place seat. But who knows? Do you have any other final thoughts, Aiden, before we end the episode here?
Good shoutouts goes to Seattle number 7 and great shoutouts goes to Cincinnati number 12 Robinson. Hopefully you carry the team on your backs. I know you 2 are the fastest of them all. Hopefully you 2 connect one another. Everything will be all good.
That's right. Well, let's see how the national team does in these friendly matches before the World Cup ultimately starts. And we'll go from there moving forward for your coverage of the World Cup, as we will be covering the World Cup for the meantime until the MLS season comes back and is resumed after this World Cup is done. But that is all we have for you folks for this week's episode of Your Bro Sports here on the YouTube channel Raftery Productions. Stay tuned next week, every Thursday or Friday at 5. I'm your host, Corey Raftery.
Aiden Raftery.
And we will catch you guys next week of your next Bro Sports video.
And love you.
Have a good one.
And goodbye.